The long wait is finally over.
Get those hands up, all right? Something's coming.
Spring practice.
Good. All right, not bad.
Summer workouts in the weight room.
Feet up.
And a couple weeks under the Florida sun have led to this.
Christian Conquer.
Strap your helmet on tight. The Friday Night Blitz is on.
This is Action Sports Jax Friday Night Blitz, sponsored by Whataburger, just like you like it.
It's a beautiful thing to be back under the lights on a Friday night. High school football returning all over the area tonight. Hey, we had clouds, we had rain, we had sun, we had rainbows, and we had football, and we have the lights. And therefore, we are back.
I saw a rainbow as well.
Season of the Friday Night Blitz. Just about everybody did.
Yeah, it was great.
Should have had Battle of the Rainbows tonight.
Could have done it.
One of the most fun shows we get to do around here every year because of the adrenaline rush and the excitement that comes with high school football. And we're not even playing, thankfully. I'm Brent Martineau.
Don't tell that to Marcel Robinson. He probably
Yes.
feels like he's out there playing right now in Camden County. I'm Stuart Weber. Tonight, not as stressful. Still a little stressed, but not as stressful. Remember, the scores don't count here in Florida. So the majority of tonight's games in the preseason, but across the entire area, our border, up north in Georgia, it's a whole different story. So we're going to lead things off with a couple games that do, in fact, matter.
The Game of the Week, sponsored by Whataburger.
Well, there's our old friend Welton Coffee. What a good man. Former Reigns coach, current Kenton County AD, locked into the Wildcats matchup against Columbia. Cats down 7-0 in the first quarter. Defense gets in on the party. Denegal Cooper, a huge sack to push back Columbia's offense. Camden chasing 13 points in the final minutes of the first half. Changes when Jamarly Riddle scoots his way into the end zone on the screen pass, cuts the deficit to 6. Second half, up on the turf we go. Same score on fourth down. The Cats are forced to punt, but the football god's smiling upon them. Well, it's a turnover recovered by Camden County. New life for the Wildcats. Eagles defense buckles down and holds Camden to a field goal. That brought the score to 13-10, and that would be the final score on this first Friday up in Georgia. Camden County falls in week number 1.
All right, let's bring in Marcel Robinson now. He was capturing the footage up there in Kingsland and has more from the Camden County opener.
Week 1 for the Camden County Wildcats didn't exactly go as planned. Of course, we just talked about them falling to the Columbia Eagles 13-10 in a game that was really weird because it was fast moving in the first half, but the second half really took its time. But every time the Camden County Wildcats got into position to make a move, get in good field position to score, they'd find themselves shooting themselves in the foot. Of course, they had to work for every single yard they got today. Their option offensive package didn't really do much against the Eagles. They got their spots. They had some explosive plays every now and then, but for the most part, the Columbia Eagles came to play, and Camden County Wildcats, they stayed with it. They were in this thing in the fourth quarter, which is one thing that head coach Jeff Herron said that he really wanted to emphasize. Look, just be in position to win in the fourth quarter, and of course it came down to their final drive with just about 5 minutes left in the game, and they just couldn't punch it in. The Eagles defense stands tall, holds Camden County to a field goal, and that would be the end of it. Your score here, 13-10, is the final in Camden County, but still plenty of optimism for this team. Still plenty of energy, and these guys are ready and hungry to get going next week. That's the story here in Camden County. Marcel Robinson, Action Sports Jax.
All right, let's stay north of the border, shall we, to Glenn County Stadium. It is Brunswick High School hosting the Andrew Jackson Tigers. Their brand new turf field, by the way.
Very nice.
Quarter, Andrew Jackson forced to punt from the 1-yard line. Goes about 22 yards, takes a couple bounces, and well, that's about as easy of a punt return touchdown as you'll ever see. Jaden Drayton into the end zone, 7-0 Brunswick. Still in the first, it's third down for the Jackson Tigers. Emery Terry floats it down the field to Fred Gaines, who takes off. Get out of the way, coach. We got a touchdown to see. There he goes. Ties the game up at 7
Fred's good.
apiece. Really good. Nearing the end of the first quarter now. Pirates down in Tiger territory again. William Heck runs it in for a 4-yard touchdown. That would put the Pirates back on top, waiting for a final score on that one because, as mentioned, that game does in fact count for both Brunswick and Andrew Jackson, with the rare week early high school game for a team from Florida, but because they're playing in Georgia, it counts.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. All right, here's the deal. This is the deal on the wall that says it all in high school football. The biggest headline story of the offseason going into this year is metro classifications, suburban classifications. And How will this shake out? This is fascinating, Stuart. A big change in high school football, one that was polarizing.
Yeah, very polarizing.
But another change in high school football.
It is. So the easiest way to explain it is they took the 8 most populous counties, the most people in them. There's 3 in South Florida, 2 in Orlando, 2 in Tampa, and Duval County. They put them all into 4 metro classifications. So the big city schools are playing against each other. Whether you're public or private doesn't mean a thing. You're just put into these metro classifications. So that means the likes of Trinity Christian and University Christian are now both in 1 metro. Somebody like Bowles is going against Rains, Reval, Bishop Kenny, Episcopal, Riverside. I mean, that's pretty crazy to think we could have a Bowles-Riverside playoff game here down the road. So it certainly shakes things up, and these teams will have to play teams from South Florida, especially the Miami area, Orlando, and Tampa, once they get to the postseason.
Let's hit on that a little more. For some area teams, nothing's ever an easy route, right, to a state championship. But the road just got a little bumpier because of what you just mentioned. At times, you could project, let's say a school like Bowles, right, going for a deep run. Does that get a little trickier for maybe Bowles and others?
It possibly does. And look, these teams have been playing the best in the state for a few years now because they're getting to the Final Four. They're getting to championship games. And we had a chance to talk to the coaches from Bowles and Trinity Christian and kind of get their thoughts at Baker Sports Media Day a couple weeks ago.
You know, some of the teams we used to play were out west toward Pensacola, but with the new Metro Suburban, we won't go west anymore. I mean, it's fun. It's going to be fun, but do you really have a state champion? That's my question.
Everyone wants to talk about how, like, oh, we're in with Miami now. But, like, it's always been hard. It's not like the Final Four is easy. And so in 4A, like, we replace Cocoa and Cardinal Gibbons with Miami Central and Cardinal Gibbons. Like, and you're like, well, those teams are really good. Like, yeah, it's the Final Four. They're supposed to be good.
Yes, they are. The suburban shakeup could benefit some area schools. So look at programs in St. Johns County, perhaps. They could get a lift, teams like Creekside. And everyone is really pointing to the poster child of this new system, and that is Baker County. Yeah, Baker County, I mean, you're talking about a team that has been in 5A previously. So that means you played kind of middle of the pack size schools in the state of Florida. Well, that's fine if you're in McClenny, that fits your school, but that also means maybe a team like Miami Central, who just happens to have smaller enrollment than a lot of the Miami schools do, which you would think it would be a really high number for them, but not Miami Central. They had been 5A. So now Miami Central gets shipped over to Metro classifications, and now Baker County is playing teams that it probably should be playing. Yulee, West Nassau, Fernandina, and Baldwin are in their district in suburban Class 2A. And which could lead to a path of more success when it comes to maybe a place like Baker County finally getting a state championship.
I believe it gave us a chance to have more competitive balance, more competitive equity in high school football. There were a ton of running clocks in playoff games late in the playoffs last year in the state of Florida, and that's not the way it should be.
It's a good switch for us because we are going to be in it playing like teams. You know, we got through the first 3 rounds of the playoffs kind of playing like teams, and we're successful, and then you go to Miami Central, and for a half we could play with them, and then they took off from us.
So let's give this thing some time, right? It probably isn't a perfect system. Nothing is. Despite voting, by the way, to approve this format, the board almost got cold feet, and there was talk at one time they would reverse the decision. Instead, they're riding with this thing. By the end of the season, I think Stuart will know more, because that's really the tricky part, right? We really won't know how this turns out until the postseason. You don't know till you know. So we'll find out down the road, and hopefully it works. I hope it works, and we see some great playoff action, especially for our local teams. Would love to see that. All right, let's hear it for some of the fans of the week. Watch out for our cameras each and every week. We'll be looking up into the stands, trying to find the noisemakers, the well-dressed, everybody having a great time tonight. That is up in Brunswick. Kids are ready to go for week 0. West Side and Fleming Island, they're always ready to go. The Golden Eagles always have one of the best crowds in the area. They didn't disappoint tonight. Looked like mid-season form. Just a packed house, fucking with the football on their way in. But watch this. A little fumble on the spin, and hey, that's at the goal line. We got a big man touchdown. Ethan Williams strike up the band for the Golden Eagles. And then let's give the offensive lineman some TV time. Not only Ethan, but his buddies there. That's a touchdown, baby. Westside's big highlight right here. Nice throw and a good catch and run after. Westside Wolverines. Hey, get those rosters updated a little bit so we can give these guys some love on TV. We'll be ready to go for that next week. Fleming Island looking good most of the first half in this game. Maybe the biggest recruit in the area is Westside's Jordan Hall. He's still undecided. Awesome kid, tremendous personality, and a big dude on that defensive line. Got banged up tonight, played through what looked like a lower leg injury of some kind. I mean, definitely in some discomfort there. So we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully not serious, but Hall has a chance to be one of the most dominant players in the area. But he's got to stay healthy, of course.
Yeah, and this area is loaded with big-time talent. Action Sports Jax, Olivia Tasley with the story of those committed players in the area that are going to play on Friday nights this fall.
If you look at the board, a handful of local talent are heading to the same 3 schools. You got the orange and blue flooding the screen for those Florida commits, the garnet and gold for those new Noles, and then the garnet and black for the Gamecocks. Well, we'll start with the closest stop about 2 hours away, where the Gators have found another quarterback at Nice in Marcus Stokes. The 4-star recruit is rated as the best quarterback in the 2023 class in the state of Florida. The gunslinger led the Nice Panthers to one of their best seasons since the Tim Tebow era. Hopefully this future Gator will continue to follow his fellow former Panthers' footsteps. All right, we're going to continue heading west for about another 2 hours, where we're going to hit the new home for Reigns defensive back Kenton Kirkland. He's down here with the fancy commitment video. The Noles say the 6'2", 200-pound player has a great size and an extremely versatile. They noted that Kirkland looks like a linebacker but runs like a defensive back, and he has the size and speed to match up well against receivers and tight ends, or even come up into the box. Good versatility for Mike Norvell. All right, last but not least, we're going to swap out the gold for black and head back into the SEC, where Grayson Pup Howard is heading to South Carolina after his senior season at Andrew Jackson. The Gamecocks are getting a tackling machine in this linebacker. His numbers speak for themselves in his career: 12 sacks, 25.5 tackles for loss, and 326 tackles overall. So keep your eyes on all of these players as they prepare to leave it all on the field their senior year. In the studio, I'm Olivia Tasley, Action Sports Jax.
Follow Olivia on Twitter, Olivia A.S. Jax. She's on Instagram like the cool kids as well. You can find her there.
All right, even more big-time recruits at this matchup. Bowls in Orange Park. Big number 77, Roderick Kearney, headed to Florida State, but he's not punting the ball. Raiders
I'd
here.
like to see that.
No, well, maybe. Here they're forced to punt, partially blocked, flutters in the air, and you hear the coaches, they're yelling, "Tackle him!" It is the preseason. Everyone's kind of
special teams probably the hardest thing about this time of year.
Knocking the rust off, right? That sets up the Bulldogs in great field position. Waste no time. DJ Moore to Connor Cox, South Carolina commit at tight end. Then, after another botched punt, Bulls use the ground game this time. Emmett Gerzeben takes it in. Bulls will head to St. Aug next week.
Hey, next week we'll also debut our Blitz scoreboard show on ESPN 690. We did it last year, the last couple years. Have a lot of fun showing you end-of-game highlights in real time on social media. And then, of course, the analysis, the scores, the reaction as well. 9 p.m. until 10:30. And then we run down here and do the Friday Night Blitz on the TV side. So check it out next Friday night.
Yep, more to come, including a look at our Game of the Week schedule. Plus, we're going to check in with the champs. Trinity Christian in a new classification, but looking for another title. That is next.
We are the Bronze Card Pirates, and you're watching the Friday Night Blitz.
This is Action Sports Jax Friday Night Blitz, sponsored by Whataburger, just like you like it.
Hey, welcome back to the Blitz and welcome back to the champs. Trinity Christian, fresh off that 2A title last year.
All right, here's a coin. It's pretty simple. Heads, tails, right? Heads, tails.
They're not changing those, right?
Get excited, Trey
Yeah.
on.
All right, Cocker is visiting Terry Parker. Colin Hurley picking up right where he left off after his sensational freshman season. Ooh, number 2 getting free. Airs it out to Tyron Summerall. A couple cutbacks and tackled inside the 10. Very next play, Hurley fakes the handoff. Good decision. He'll muscle his way into the end zone. He's got a big frame on him now, only a sophomore. Braves would answer just before the half. Jalen Petway, how about a dump off to Darryl Sawyer? He's going to scoot through the defense 4-6. That's 2 teams you want to watch this year.
Crosstown matchup between First Coast and the Yulee Hornets. Hornets nickel and dime their way down the field, open the scoring in this one. Chris Turner to Zachary Drawdy. right over the middle and made it look easy in the back of the end zone. Still in the first quarter. Hey, we've got a loose ball. That's a fumble. Bucks lose it, and the ensuing possession, Rylan Hale comes up with the scoop to give Yulee the ball back. A few plays later, Hornets score. Josiah Evans hauls in the fade. Nice catch. Get out of the way, Marcel! He's always trying to catch a football. Touchdown put the Hornets up 2 scores.
The Coach of the Week, sponsored by Whataburger.
So every Friday after this one, Whataburger and Jaguars Prep will help us honor a Coach of the Week. That includes a check presentation to help the athletic program. A lot of good coaches in our area, and we will recognize them all fall long.
And we'll also feature our Game of the Week every Friday, of course, and that starts in a big way next week. I mean, look at the board. Stuart Weber has built this. It's the best graphic in the state of Florida when it comes to high school football right here. And we've got a myriad of different counties and teams and a couple of states in there as well. But it all gets going next week with a big one.
Yeah, so I tried to not duplicate any of our Game of the Week matchups from last year. Last year we had some really good ones. And I'm starting it off with a fantastic rivalry game. Bradford, Baker County, Tornadoes, Wildcats. This is a good one. This is one where, you know, the families come from one to the other. The people who are in the stands played in this game 20, 30, 40 years ago, and they want their community to be the better. Stark, McClenny, Glen St. Mary, there's a lot of bragging rights up for grabs between those two.
And how about the storyline? Kevin Mays and Jamie Rodgers. You remember that name? The folks in Baker County know both names well. Mays, the current coach, Rodgers, the former Wildcats coach. He's in year 1 at Bradford. Bradford, by the way, hasn't missed the playoffs, I think, since 2014, so they are always good. Rivalries are the best in any sport, but especially high school sports, and those are the games that kids remember the most.
Which game are you most looking forward to?
Yulee, always, as our rival. But yeah, we've always played. We lost last year. They got a bunch of players from our team. They transferred over the bridge. And I don't know, that's a big game. We really got to win that one. I'm feeling good about this season, though. We got a lot of chemistry with our guys and a lot of toxicity gone, so I think we'll be pretty solid.
And who you're most looking forward to playing?
Fernandina Beach.
All right, why Fernandina? Why are they the target?
We've always been rivals, but this year they just talking a little too much.
There it is, September 30th, Fernandina Beach and Yulee.
I've already got a text, people mad at you for not putting them in the Game of the Week. Just got it. Like already. Listen, we can't put everybody in.
We got unique teams. We hit all the counties. This is a good one. There's no perfect one, okay? We'll still be at your games. Don't worry about it.
Plenty of Knights highlights along the way. Don't worry. And we'll use all the platforms for it here on TV, on radio, and on social media. Hey, Bradford, Baker County next week, we already mentioned. Tornadoes take on Impact Christian in a jamboree. Dejan Shanks with a touchdown run. Big rivalry game coming 7 days from now, and McClenny will be there.
How about at University Christian? The boys from UC hitting the field tonight against Zephyr Hills Christian. Dwayne Stuckey under center for the home team. He's going to hook up with Genoa Alford. Whew, look at the cannon. Long pass into the end zone, touchdown UC. Fast forward later in the game, how about the same two connecting again? Stuckey to Alford, this one coming on the near side of the field, looking for the end zone. Get the foot down, he
nice
does.
Play.
Nice touchdown there.
11 make the play? No. So you got to come around the edge, square your shoulder. That would be number
Thursday nighter for Coach Geis featuring Sandalwood and Oakley. Saints in the red zone here. Jamari Harvell takes a high snap that directs back into the hands of Jordan Bean, gets in the end zone for the score. Just how they drew it up, right? Sandalwood goes to Ribault next week. That was part of a jamboree with Baldwin last night in the Kickoff Classic. More to come on the Blitz, including the play of the day.
That's a unique one. And some football news outside the high school realm. A new Sharks head coach introduced. We got that next.
We are at the White Commanders and we're watching Friday Night Blitz.
This is Action Sports Jax Friday Night Blitz, sponsored by Whataburger, just like you like it.
New Sharks head coach is Mr. Jason Gibson.
Another football note, welcome in Jason Gibson, new head coach of your Jacksonville Sharks after 16 years in Columbus with the Lions, including last 5 years facing off against these very same Sharks. So a guy with a lot of arena football experience coming to lead the Jacksonville Sharks.
Welcome back to the Friday Night Blitz. Everybody, Brent Martineau, Stuart Weber. Time to find the play of the weekend. We do it in non-traditional fashion tonight. the play of the week by Fleming Island High School as they dedicated their stadium tonight to the late Randy Warren. He was a longtime athletic director in Clay County, 15 years at Fleming Island, before that at Orange Park. Randy's family and friends from far away came in for the dedication. A lot of favorable reaction on social media to this gesture for the late Randy Warren. Welcome to Randy Warren Stadium in Fleming Island.
The Player of the Week, sponsored by Whataburger.
And starting next week, we're going to restart our weekly Player of the Week votes. You'll go to the Friday Night Blitz page on the website, make your selection. You can see right now we don't have one because it was the preseason.
Next week.
Next week, it'll be back, so be sure to check it out. Let's leave you with our Band of the Week. We do it each and every week. Shout out to First Coast High School.
Thanks for watching Action Sports Jax Friday Night Blitz, sponsored by Whataburger, just like you like it.